Shalom. Y'all know what time it is today. I pray and I hope everyone's enjoying their Sabbath, their rest, enjoying the day today. It's beautiful weather out there. I want to give praise to the Most High Yah for giving us the beautiful weather here in the Northeast. You know, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, but we give him praise for the rain as well, because the rain brings what? It brings new growth, right? It brings the necessity, the things that need to happen that are necessary in order for us to continue to produce, continue to grow our crops, continue to sustain life. So we want to give him thanks for the rain as well. Hey, shalom, sis. I hope all is well down there. It's good to see you. The elders here, I would just say, here in the Northeast, we've been getting, the weather's been about in the 80s and 90s, like literally the last 3 days, which is a little bit abnormal for this time of year. So you figure if it's 80s and 90s and it now dropped down to like 63, 64, which is normal, but it feels so cold, you know, right now because we got so used to these 80s and 90s type weather. But we want to pay homage to the Most High Yahweh, give him thanks for today. And for all those who are keeping his holy Shabbat, his holy Sabbath, he will bless you. Remember, he's told us over and over and over, right? So it gives us the time to what? Reset, take a deep breath in, and what? Recalibrate ourselves and renew ourselves for the new week. So for those who don't know, we're in the middle of in Omer right now, which is the time period between Passover and, you know, we look at this time where we need to stay in prayer. We need to stay set apart. And, you know, we just want to basically, when you're doing that, you're staying in line with the Most High Yahweh. All right. So during that time period, I encourage people to go look and see what the Omer is about. Jacob is waking up. The world is waking up. People are understanding. I see people, or I've had friends that have leaving religion, and that's just the way of man, and they're coming into the truth like, wow, you know, it seems like something was always missing. So just continue to study in the Most High. Shalom, sis. In the Most High, he will continue to bring forth all of the things that were so-called hidden and things that were right before our eyes that we just missed. So today's lesson, right? I really didn't give it a name, but if I could, it would be the vision or the night vision, right? So we're going to start in the book of Exodus chapter 27, verse 20. And a lot of us, we may know this already, right? It says, taking care of the lamp. You are the lamp, right? I have my menorah right here next to me, but is the lamp and it's the light that's within it. Shalom, Prophet Jason. It said, command the people of Israel to bring you the best olive oil for the lamp so that it can be lit each evening. So see, we're coming out of Pesach or Passover, and we understand that we were supposed to bring what? The lamb or the sheep or the goat without blemish, the best. See, this is where, you know, the world has changed, and we have even for those who are going to an assembly, of those who go to church, you know how it says you bring your best, you wear your best garment, you come in, and it turned in slowly. It turned into, unfortunately, a fashion show within churches, and it was the places to go and the places to be seen. But every single time before you go to the Most High, you're supposed to bring your best. Now, I taught a lesson a couple months back about consecration. Really, think about it. Before you go to a king, right? Even in the old days, in the older worlds, you were what? Made clean. You couldn't just go to him any type of way. So before we try to come to the Most High, we need to make sure before we go to Yahweh that we are in a consecrated, a set apart, a sin-free life. And I mean, as much as totally possible. Shalom, Prophet Jason. I'm not going to say that You can't be that there's nobody that can be sin free. I'm sure there are many people on the planet that are living that holy, set apart, sin free life. We've seen it. That's what Christ was showing us. Evidently, Elijah and Enoch had to live a sin free life to never have to experience death, and the things that they have done all throughout their life. But it says in Exodus 27, Prophet Jason, I'm at 20. It said, command the people. So that was a commandment and a directive. It was a you must, not you can, you may, you can just, you know, if you got it. No, command. Bring the best olive oil for the lamp so it can be lit each evening. Aaron and his sons are to set up the lamp in the tent of my presence outside the curtain, which is in front of what? The covenant box. There, in my presence, it is to be burned from evening until moment. This command is to be kept forever by the Israelites and their descendants. So, now you may be saying, okay, well, the Most High said that it is a command to be kept forever. As we evolve or as we grow, right, Sister Sharon, and understand what the Most High Yah, Sister, what we're starting to understand and we see is that the temple is you. You are the church. You are the assembly. Your light must be lit. Now, I understand as we move back in and as the Most High cleans out the land and as after Yeshua returns, these physical or laborious attributes or directions and commands will return. But it was a reminder, right? Prophet Jason, Prophet Jason, share this with your mom. I forgot to tag her in. That we are supposed to what? Keep our inside lit. Keep our inside burning, right? Truth be told, see, we can say we are the temple. You know how you hear to say how they say ashes to ashes, dust to dust, or dust you will return. You are the living earth. You are the earth. You are, when we start fast forward and we look at end time prophecy and when a new heaven comes down onto the earth, the Most High is saying, I'm coming down to what? Something that has been purified. The earth is being purified. You should be purified. And if you have a flame, if you have something that's lit, it allows you to what? Stay vigilant. It allows you to what? It's just like, okay, I use this. This is probably old time. I know my mom used to do this. Like, Mom, I got a splinter or something, right? They would get a little bit of alcohol and then they would go try to find a lighter and then light that little piece of metal. Why? Because that metal was purifying. That metal was what? Detoxing. The metal was becoming clean. The light, the flame that's within you is what? Purifying and detoxing what? The things that's inside of you so it can start to illuminate out. So as we were told that the eyes are the mind, right? Your eyes are the mind to your soul, right? The eyes will tell you, right? Prophet Jason, Sister Sharon, everything you will need to know, right? Even if, get this, I'm going to give you an example. You're sleep in bed at nighttime, right? And you ever just, you woke up and your eyes are looking around and it's like you have night vision, you can see things, the memorization. Even if something is moving in the dark, the Most High Yah has given you the ability to be able to see it. So when you see people that are moving in the dark, when you see yourself moving in the dark, when you see systems moving in the dark, you are able to see it as long as you are lit. As long as you what? Verse 20, here we go, Prophet. Verse 20, Sister Sharon. Command the people of Israel to bring the best olive oil. So the oil that is within you, what is the oil within you tainted? So just think about it. If I was going to use an example of changing your oil in your car. When they change the oil in your car, it's just like a cooking. Both of these we can look at an example. You get rid of the old dirty muck oil, right? And then you put in pure oil. You fried fish, right? And gosh, I said, guys, I really pray people ain't refrying their fish grease. But I know people, Sister Dolly, sometimes people do that. They may refry French fries grease, right? But what's happening? It's sludged. It's sludged down. It becomes thick. It becomes no good. So the oil, the sin that's within you, its job is to what? Weigh you down and start to what? Create, right? Imbalance in you. So you can't, like in a vehicle, you have cylinders. They run like this inside of your motor. If they get sludged down with a bunch of sludge and debris, if they get slowed down by sin, if your internals, your inside, right? If your earth becomes polluted, right? And it's not producing, right? Or it's not getting new oil, fresh oil, what's going to happen? The cylinders start to seize up. And it's like in a vehicle. And eventually your engine breaks down. Just like you, just like me. It's just like the world. The world's engines are breaking down today. The world's systems are breaking down today. The world's ways are breaking down today. Y'all see it. You can see it right here in this before our eyes. And it's because what? They are bringing in what? A polluted oil. Even those who are within, trying to maintain their relationship within a religion. If your oil is polluted, yes, new oil allows the flow of Yah. Shalom, Sister Sharon, and that's 100% right. So the systems of today are, they're producing, or first of all, they never had an oil change, and they're saying, you know what, we're still moving. The system started moving fast, and now it's sludging down. Now the oil is what? Creating what? More what? Toxins. It's creating, we're back to a car, more emissions problems. So we're having more emissions problems, right? Because our oil hasn't been changed. So I'm in Exodus chapter 20. He said, command the people of Israel, bring your best. So bring your best when you come to the Most High. We're not going to go to him always in this depressed state of mind. Always in if we are continuously needing to go to him to be revived, something is wrong. That's why people say revivals. Why does your church, why does your assembly, Shalom, Apostle, need to be revived? How many revivals do you need to have? I mean, yes, the Most High has given us his feast days, and they are revivals for us. He's given us the new moons. They're revivals for us to what? Revitalize ourselves, right? But it comes to a certain point in time where the Most High says, I need you, prophet, I need you, apostle, to be running what? On full cylinders. And this is the example, and this is why I'm getting into the lesson of having that vision or the night vision or the flame that's within you. What is burning in you, and what kind of oil is keeping your flame lit? Is it the oil of the world? Is it the oils of desires? Is it the oils of lust? Is it the oils of wickedness? Is the oil? What is within you? You are representing what? Yes, a reset. You represent, right, what is going on within you. So I was telling you, the eye, right, will tell you things about yourself, about people you don't even know, right? But you have to have the light to see these things. Light will what? Be able to allow you to see darkness. So for those who are living in darkness, for the world who is living, the world that's appearing to be corrupted and living by sin, do they see sin? Have you ever talked to somebody that has done something so grievous? And unfortunately, dealing with my friends, I've talked to murderers. I talked to real gangbangers. I talked to pedophiles. I've talked to thieves. I talked to drug addicts. I've talked to pimps. I've talked to prostitutes. And I can go on and on and on. And sometimes they don't see the darkness of the world because they're living in the dark. The flame that is within, right? The light that is within them, right? It's lit, but it's dimly lit, and all they can see is what? All of the corruptness that's going around them. All they can see is the sin that's going around them. When you illuminate and you what? Bring a light to something. You know, some say you bring the light to me, or the light went off in my head, or ding dong, or I turned on and turned on and turned off the light. It allows what? You to see things, but it also allows others around you to see, right? To see you as well. Because a lot of times our correction comes from other people because we illuminate and they can see. They can see what we're producing. So let's go to Let's go to Matthew 6. Matthew 6, verse 22. So it says right here, right? In Matthew 6 and 22. I just want us to really see this. It says, the light of your body is the eye. Therefore, if your eye is healthy, your whole body should be full of light. Our eye, what are we seeing? What are we seeing in the physical realm? We're not even talking about what are we seeing in the spirit realm. What is coming in you and what are you producing, right? What is coming from out of you? So the light of the body, right, is the eye. Therefore, if your eye is healthy, therefore, if your eye, see, now you start dealing with humans, how we were made. Now, I'm not sure if we can go back thousands of years, and for those who walked in and I'm going to talk in the physical darkness, were they able to see? Likely not. This is why the Most High created what? Shifts in seasons in the days, because we were people who weren't born with that ability to be able to see in the physical dark, but he gave us the ability to see in the spiritual dark. See, a lot of us may say, hey, I wish I was an owl, or I wish I was well, I want to say really, because they're diurnal, a cat, or an animal that hunts at nighttime that you can see in the night in darkness. You can see the darkness. You can see in the daytime. You can see at night. Yah said, I'm going to allow you to see in the spiritual darkness, right? So even animals, I said this last week, have a sense of being able to see a spirit or see something that's dark. You go to someone's house, or for those who have ever had animals or dogs, you realize, you see, sometimes you're like, wait, my dog has never done nothing to this person, and the dog just don't like them. I've seen it with cats. They just don't like them because it's something there that they're able to see. Their eyes are what? Seeing the light or seeing the darkness, right? So it says, verse 23. If your eye is evil, it's telling us right here, right? If your eye is evil, therefore, right? If your eye is evil, your whole body will be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in you be darkness, how great is what? That darkness. Your eyes or your ears are portals, and your eyes are portals. That's right. That is right. Because it allows you to see what's coming or what comes forth, and what's going to leave you as well. What are you producing? What is coming and going from you? See, it's like, this is why, like, we see those of us who've like detox from music and things like that, and that stuff goes in you, it comes back out. This is what Yeshua Yahushua was talking about when he was talking about it's what comes from out of the man, what is coming out, what has went into your portal, what has went inside of you, and what are you releasing, right? So, when we look at this, are you full of light? Are you full of what? The darkness. So your inner spirit, if it's full of light, your inner spirit, if it's full of light or full of darkness, will determine your way. Your inner spirit, whether it's light, whether it's dark, it will what? Determine your way. And your way, Shalom, Prophet, can determine others' ways. This is why when it comes back to judgment, we're going to be judged at a greater level. Shalom, Mom. We were coming in at Exodus chapter 27, verse 20, talking about the internals of the light and taking care of the lamp. And you are the lamp, and you are the earth, and you are what brings substance to the earth, right? So, what I was saying, if your eye is sound, so are your temple, so are your body. You are the third temple that the Most High is talking about. It's not a brick building. It's not a building that's going to be where we don't know. Because remember, the Most High is going to what? Clear the land out and bring us back in during his time. But you are the temple that what? Needs to have the light. You are the temple that the menorah needs to be what? He said in the commandment, he says, I command you, right? to keep it forever, but he says, my presence is to burn from evening till morning. So is there a break period of time when the Most High just takes a break from us? But we need a break. We want to stop burning. We want to do the things we want to do, and then we get upset when there's a repercussion that comes around it, because the Most High said, well, the time that you stop burning, what did you do? Did you just fizzle out? Or did you allow a false light, a false deity, a false spirit to come within and try to take my place? And then we get upset that these things happen. Many times we allow the eye of darkness, right? The spirit of darkness, right, Brother Horace? The spirit of darkness to stay around where light should be. Why? Remember, if we were holy, if we're consecrated, if we're set apart, and I'm not just talking physical, we covered this in Kingdom Study. There's going to be a time where you just can't escape. I can't get away from the heathen. I can't get away from the person that's bringing me down. I can't get away from the systems that are bringing me down. But when the Bible tells you come out of her, come out of Mitzrayim, come out of the system, as y'all know because y'all was all on, he's talking about the system, your mindset. I'm not going to let you pull me. Trust me, I've been there where it's like, man, yo, did they want the old Ryan? Did they want Joel Stevens to come out? Do they want that dude? That's the system. That is what Satan wants, because in your mindset, it's like, I got to go back and prove. What are you proving a point about? The point you prove was to prove that you can be what? You can fall victim to the darkness, right? So does darkness pollute the light? Come on, Mom. Does darkness pollute light? We see all this all around us. We hear about global warming and global what's the word? Global pollution. But if we believe the Most High, He exists inside of us, right? We understand that He can exist where what darkness was, because He is yet the light that's inside. He is supposed to be the one burning. And truth be told, is there not dark in the light? But the darkness I'm speaking about, it's a spiritual darkness. Why do we keep this spiritual darkness within us? Is your lamp lit to burn that out? It's a sin. It's a desire. It's a need. It's a want. What are we doing? The Most High Yah will either what? He said he's an ever-consuming fire. Prophet Jason, if you find that verse, throw that in there. He's an ever-consuming fire. He will either what? Burn and purify you, or he's going to what? Burn you up in pieces. And sometimes you may not see that that happen until later on. We may get away. We've gotten away with doing a whole lot. I got away with doing a whole lot. And then later on, Yah says, wait, I didn't forget, brother. I love you, sister, but this is the repercussion. And now I'm asking you to burn within me, or have me burn within you, but yet you still want to burn with the ways of the world. Why is that? Let's go to 1 John. 1 John chapter 1. Thank you for joining. 1 John chapter 1, verse 9. It says, when we go in verse 8, if we say to us we have no sin, we deceive ourselves. See, this is how Satan always wants to do, Sister Sharon. Oh, thank you, Sister Sharon. Hebrew 12:29. Hold it. Remind me to come back to it. If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and there's what? No truth in us. Shalom, 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 prophet. The issue, and when we start looking at sin, right, this is why he tells us to judge ourselves, to understand, well, what is sin? 1 John 3 and 4. we got to understand sin. But if your temple, if your insides are what, not producing this light to be able to illuminate, you won't be able to see sin. This is why I said earlier, unfortunately, yes, my profession, I dealt with pimps. I dealt with prostitutes. I dealt with killers. I dealt with drug addicts. I dealt with gangbangers. And even I dealt with pedophiles. I dealt with people who were involved in all type of heinous actions. And we would give them assessment and a question and ask them. And sometimes you'd be like, do you think it's wrong to sell drugs? The answer would be no, because we need to survive. Okay, well, do you think there is something wrong with the violent crime? No, because people need to survive. You see it? And they give the answer because they don't have the illumination of the light that's within them. Thank you, Prophet Jason. I'm gonna go in there. They don't have that light, so they can't see the darkness. This is why when sometimes people we run to the addiction. Whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, whether it's adultery, whether it's whatever your sin is you're fighting, whether it's the bad thinking, you're running to that. You're running to something. But let me not lose my point real quick, right? Let me rewind real quick. We need to ask ourselves, right? When there's a shadow of darkness, when there's a spirit of darkness within, are we running to the light? Or are we running to the darkness? You know where your flesh is going to go. It goes down to, like, I use an example with my children. We turn around and tell them, don't eat the candy, right? Don't do this while we're not home. But their fleshly desire, right? Allow them to what? Partake in the sin of dishonoring my father and my mother, right? It was the flesh. It was the desire. It was anytime that we see this, y'all, we know we need to run into manuscripts, right? Oh, let me finish the script. 1 John 1:9. Thank you, Prophet Jason. It says, if we confess our sins to Yahweh, to Yah, he will keep his promise and do what is right. Well, what was his promise? We got to remind ourselves sometimes what his promise was. Deuteronomy 4:24, for Yahweh, your Elohim, your God is a what? A fire consuming. He's jealous. You don't think he gets jealous when we fall to sin? You don't think he gets jealous when we do what's opposite? He's like, I just want you all to do what's right. But 1 John 1:9, if we confess our sins, it was me, Yahweh, right? He will keep his promise and do what is right. He will forgive us our sins and purify. How's he purifying you? Is he taking a physical light? Is he taking a candlestick and throwing it down inside your mouth, Prophet Jason? Is he Sister Sharon? Is he standing underneath your little, I'm not using me. Is he standing underneath my booty crack with a lighter? No. He's saying, I will purify you once you what? Recognize and realize what you did was wrong. You were wrong. And even if you did it like you said, yes, Sister Sharon, in the darkness, right? It always manifests itself. There's things that all of us, including myself, it was funny because I could have stuff with my mom and I'd tell her something 30 years ago and she'd be like, oh yeah, I knew about it. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll be like, okay. And I'm like, well, how'd you know that? Because somewhere down the line, and as prophets, as most of us are, the Most High always shows us, we just sometimes miss it. This is why the purification state has to manifest itself so we can see what he's trying to show us. We think what we do in darkness will not come to light because you got away with it. Yeah, I stole the first time, I got away. I stole the second time. I stole the 500th time. But then, now my child became a victim of theft. Now I go in and my bank account got swiped left. Now I'm turning around and my children are dealing with what? Stealing. Because what? I never got rid of that spirit, right? I never illuminated or put that spirit on. See, a lot of us sometimes, you know what it is? Some people just age out. Prophet Jason, some people never ever beat their sin. they just age out of it. Whether it's a man, whether it's a woman, whether it's you never took the flame. You never ever sat back and that thing just sat there in that back pocket and you never dealt with it. And we know we're dealing with things generations in, generations out from eons ago. It says, he will forgive us our sins and purify us from wrongdoing. If we say we have not sinned, we make a liar out of Yah and the word is not in us. So when we look at darkness that's around us, we often sometimes become very judgmental on that same darkness that you came from. And when you become judgmental on that darkness that you came from, right, that you know you never really corrected, that you never ever really sat and dealt with, that judgment or those things that you speak, right, it can come right back to you. Because the Most High can say, wait, hold on for a second, but you haven't dealt with this. You haven't done this. Or you're doing the same thing your mammy did. You're doing the same thing your grandmammy did. You're doing the same thing your brother did. And Yah says, wait, hold on for a second. See, this is what happens. You start to believe, and see, when you start dealing with sin, this is why I said sin can't see sin. Because there's a justification for everything you do. I did this because of that. I did this because he did something to me back in 1988. Wait, have we learned about forgiveness? You never learned about forgiveness if you're able to say, yo, Sister Sharon, listen, I'm going to just, I love your carrots, right? and assuming I send you carrots every month down where you're at, and I say, you know what, just for Sister Sharon not making me my carrots, I ain't gonna send them anymore. Now I'm messing with you, but I'm using, for example, we never dealt with those things, right, that bothered us. We never dealt with the thing that secretly consumed you. And then you go out and you participate, or you do the same exact thing that was done to you, but you point a finger and say, well, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I did it. Well, we can be here all day. We can be here for the rest of our life to tick to tack. You got to keep the light in so you understand, right? Why do we lose the light? Why does the light just fizzle out? We can be on here and then just log on out of the assembly and it fizzles out and it's gone. Then we can sit there illuminated and know we don't have any light. Why? Where's the Most High? What are we feeding? What are you feeding your spirit? Are you putting up that old oil? Or are you going to flush and get rid of that oil? Or are you going to burn that oil all the way down and earn it out? It's just like when you have a car. I know we've all done that and put bad gas in the car. What do? Hopefully you don't need fuel injection works and new plugs and all kind of new stuff. You burn that gas out till it's almost at the bottom and you fill up with fresh fuel. Are you filling up with the fresh fuel? John 1:5, Prophet Jason, it says, the light shines in the darkness. Is your light illuminating in the darkness? Or is your darkness illuminating in your light? Talking about here. We're back to kingdom study. You can stay quiet. You can get rid of things that's in your life, but if you don't get rid of that thing that's in your mind, right? I can get rid of the leaven, or I can get rid of the thing that is consuming me, right? I can yield and stay quiet. But if your mind is running reckless, if your mental is full of what? Sin, if you haven't dealt with the things into your mind, remember, we're back to the portal. Your lips and your ears and what you say become that portal. It can manifest itself very fast. So are we truly dealing with this? We're in John 1:5, y'all. It says the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness, what? Has never put it out. If Yahweh says the darkness never puts the light out, why do we get smothered? Why are we that flickering light? Why is your inside just illuminating? You could be what? Consumed. You can be what? People can influence you just like that. The influence of the world is the flesh and it's the sin, and just like that. Were you really burning pure oil as we started earlier? What is inside you will determine what is killed or what grows in you. What is inside you? See, we get into all this modern day, and I love it. Detoxing. I got to get rid of the metals. Yo, I got to get rid of the bacteria. Oh, for some, I got to get rid of the vaccines and the jabs and all this stuff that's in you. But what is growing in you? Light, right? Like I said earlier, I gave an example. Most of us have been there with our parents. They've taken something metal and they said, wait, I got to cut in your skin. What do? They take the lighter and they try to purify the metal before they cut you and go inside you. What is inside of you is going to determine what either grows, right? Or what grows within you. If you don't have a light in you, what grows? Mold. Let's just use. You can clean your whole house, and if you keep forgetting to clean that little back spot underneath of your bed that starts producing dust and dust and dust and dust, and next thing you know, all right, I'm gonna give an example. The window seals, right? I'm gonna give one. So last weekend I said to Mary, hey, where's the Lysol? Because I've replaced most of the windows, but in the old window seals, it can start out as a little tiny piece of little black dust, little piece of mold. And as it grows and grows and grows and grows, and if you forget to spray that, or Lysol it, and I encourage everybody, get a can of Lysol and spray in your window seals, whether you got aluminum windows or whether you got plastic windows, especially in your children's room. Spray in there, because sometimes you may look and say, oh, what's that black stuff? Or you just forget. And what happens? It continues to grow. Mold likes to grow where? In the darkness, right? Fungus grows where? In the darkness, right? That's why that light has to illuminate, so it can what? Burn it out. So you can have what? New growth within you. Y'all get this? Are you having the new growth within you? Right? The Most High told us, right, in Genesis, Bereshit 1:4. Let's go to Genesis 1:4. We all know it. I'll give you all some scripture today. Genesis 1:4. This is back when the Most High, I think it's 4. Prophet James, correct me if I'm not. It said, now here we go. I love verse 3. It says, then Yah commanded, let there be light. And light appeared. Yah was pleased with what he saw. Then he separated light from darkness, and he named light day and darkness night. Evening passed, morning came, right? And I was talking to my daughter. She said, well, Daddy, hold on for a second. If you keep reading below, you see more about Yah talking about what the light. But he's talking about that we're going to stay here. I don't want to go there. Yah is telling us, right? I'm giving you two things that are separate. He's showing us darkness is separate, light is separate. They must not what? Run together. They must not what? Run with one another. See, we try to keep the light and the darkness within us. Yo, man, one day I may just need that brother. I can't get rid of him, man. I may need the heathen. I may have to pull him out on some people. Can light and darkness fully live together? It can, but it's going to live at what? And live in what? Disaster, prophet. Come on, prophet Maine. They're going to live in what? Conflict. Can Esau and Jacob live in the same womb? Can light and darkness live amongst each other? Could Cain and Abel? Something is going to try to what? Overpower something at some point in time, right? Y'all get this. Ephesians 5:11. It says, have nothing to do with worthless things that people do. We got to be careful and keep them squares at our circle. What are you producing? You see that beam of light go across? What are people putting into you? What are they putting into your spirit? Yes, no shalom, no peace. That's what shalom means. I'm speaking the peace into you. And then you got ones who claim that they're speaking peace into you, but they're speaking a piece of wickedness. If you don't have a relationship with the Most High Yah, if you don't have look, what are they speaking? Life? Death? They're speaking daggers. Even people in the truth. Unfortunately, because half of the time they haven't dealt with the things that what? Brought darkness within them. They haven't what? Got rid of the darkness, Prophet Jermaine. It says, 5 and 11. It says, oh, you know what? We can go even deeper than I should have went into verses before. Have nothing to do with worthless things that people do, things that belong to the darkness. Instead, bring them out to the light. Things that belong, people who belong to the darkness. Anybody who speaks or teaches contrary against Torah, you are a witch or a warlock. Point blank. Anybody who speaks and tries to what? Defile you, defile your children, defile the way you think, you're a witch or a warlock. Anyone that tries to influence you to commit crimes, to do things that go against Yah's commands, they're a witch or a warlock. It's the seed. And sometimes you don't see the seed manifest itself till it's already there, and then it's too late. Then you make what? The cardinal mistake. And sometimes there's no coming back from it. Sometimes people will take you, Sister Sharon, somewhere, because I left that person back in there. They took me somewhere, and now I'm at that place, Prophet Jermaine, Prophet Jason, that it came and overtook me. Where did that darkness come from? Where did that remember, Yahushua, Yeshua told us you got rid of the demon, and he came back and said, yo, you know what? Think about it. You want a year without, we'll just use this. You take someone who's addicted to drugs. He goes a period of time. He gets rid of that sin, right? How many years went by that them demons were sitting there trying to lay eggs? It may have taken him 5 years, 6, 7 years to come in you. And all of that is what? Multiplying within you. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Why are we allowing dark to come in and trick us as this light? He said that what? Hasatan came in as an angel what? He tried to trick them. He tried to portray as an angel of light. He fooled many angels in heaven. He's fooling many of the elite on earth today. We start dealing with the false prophet. They're fooling. People are false prophets. They're witches and warlocks. They will fool you into thinking. Everybody has, most people in this world now, it's all about their self. And they will what? Do anything by any means necessary. What? And then eventually, by the time you realize you fell, then you say, wow, that was Satan. How much around you crumbled and fell because you fell to something that we should not have fallen to. It says, it says right here, it says, have nothing to do with the darkness. Bring them out to the light. And it says, it is really shameful even to talk about the things they do in secret. The things that people, listen, there's some conversations that we just don't need to have. You know what, brother? You caught me at the right time. You caught me on the right day. I'm angry for you. I'm angry at something else. You dropped something in my spirit that pissed you off, Sister D, right? Sister Medallion. And what happens? Now I'm riding with you. Because I'm already, what, dealing with the same thing. Sometimes this conversation, you got to give people the benediction some days, right? I've had somebody be like, you know, Satan comes and tells you the right things when he believes you want to hear it. Because why? It's a blueprint. People will what? Lay this thing out. They will mark you down. It's a spirit. People will do that. All to get what? The end result. And sometimes the end result is what? Getting what they want. But when you deal in the spirit realm, that's an attack that's being what? Orchestrated by Satan, by the demons. We see it. We got to wake up. It says, and when these things are brought out to the light, Sister Sharon, then their true nature is clearly revealed. Yah will bring things out to you. See, this is why when we deal with, I know it's a couple of y'all dreamers. You're sleeping at night. Now, I don't take naps like that, but I've asked about 3 other people I know that are dreamers, and they don't dream in the daytime like they do at night. He will take something and show you something. That's why writing our dreams down is very important. Because he's showing you something at the dark, right? And it's illuminating in your dream, and you see light. You're sleeping at nighttime, it's dark around you, your eyes are closed, it's dark, but in your dream state, it's what? It's the lightness. And I'm talking to my dreamers. So when the Most High shows you something in a dream, it wasn't accidental. It wasn't incidental. He's showing you this and saying, listen, I'm trying to show and bring you something what? Bring you clarity so you can see what I need you to see. It says, and when all things are brought out to the light, then their true nature is revealed. Well, now it's your choice to determine what you're going to do after the Most High revealed the thing to you. See, Sister Migdalia, we often say that, hey, shalom, brother. We often say that we want Yah to show us these things. Show me what I need to see. And when he shows us, we what? Turn off. It's like, I wasn't ready to see that. And we turn off what? We blow out the candlestick. We blow out the light that's within us that was illuminating. Because what? Maybe it was too scary. Maybe it was something you didn't want to deal with. But Yah is showing you these things. He's telling you, listen, I need you to what? Be ready. Because I'm bringing these things out to the light. And it's up to you to determine what you do with it. It says, for anything that is clearly revealed becomes light. That's why your stick needs to keep burning. The candlestick, the menorah, represents what? The flame inside of you. So you can see those things that are what? Going on in the darkness. When you turn on the light at night, you can see. When the light stays on, it does what? It exposes, it shows, right? All of the ways that are unseen. So when your eyes are closed, you really don't see. But when the eyes are open, when your candle is lit, when you have all light illuminating around you, you can see everything. When it's dark, you can't see the attack. You can't see the sin when you're in darkness. Right? The Most High will always try to find a way to show you things. Sometimes he's going to use you. Sometimes he'll use his dreams. Sometimes he's going to use visions. Sometimes he'll what? Now listen, I know this is tough because some people may not believe it. Through the Ruach HaKodesh, through his spirit, he will speak to you. And for those who have had the I don't want to say I don't use the word luck. Those who have prophet, help me. Come on, Prophet Jermaine, Prophet Main, Yamain. Those who've had the pleasure of speaking to Yahushua Yeshua himself. Come on. See, we take this stuff for granted. He'll use TV. He'll use nature. This is why being or understanding who the Hebrew Israelites were. Most of the Israelites were farmers. They were people in the outdoors. They lived, come on, Sister Migdalia, they lived outdoors, and Yah had what? He always told us to what? Keep track of what? The seasons, the stars, the animals, the environment. He could take something so easy and he shows you something that it's like, wait, why is this happening? What is going on here? He's trying to what? He's trying to say, listen, your eye is the key to life, but if your eye is in the darkness, you won't see it. I came to you in a dream or in a vision, but you didn't see it. I came to you in someone else. I don't believe in prophets, but I came to someone else as a prophet is a spokesperson of his word. Okay? Right? And I understand, Prophet Jason, you know that. I have sat here, for those who are online, I have seen prophets that are 1,000% lined up from the ground up to the Shemarium, Shamayim, with Yah. They can sit there and they can, what did you say? I saw and seen it with my own eyes where they read what I said in my mind. And I'm like, well, how did you know, sister? Yeah, come on now. You got one that's fiery down there in Texas. You know that. There are people that Yah gives that gift to. There are people that have the gift to prophesy to see the future. I can prophesy to see the word because Yah shows me the word, and then I have to take what he shows me. Look at the lion outside. What does the lion represent? So when you see the lion, look at the Luciferic snake. What does the snake represent? See, he shows us he's showing us all these different things, right? But if we can't see, is it any good? Let's go to Matthew chapter 9. Prophet, we'll talk about night vision. We'll talk about being able to see, illuminate, see those things in the dark, brother. Brother B, we seeing this. Matthew chapter 9. And we're going to go to verse 27. Now, Yeshua or Yahushai left that place. Okay. See, when we understand manuscripts, we need to understand left what place. Let me go back and read. Where did he leave and what was he talking about? We jump into the verses. We don't have time today to go to. But, and as he walked along, 2 blind men started following him. 2 blind men. So now, as Bereans, let's understand, well, he said 2. He didn't say 3. He didn't say 1. He didn't say 7. He said 2 blind men. Then he said, have mercy on us, son of David, son of David, right? So he's saying when Yeshua had gone indoors, the 2 blind men came to him. Prophet Jason, check this, and asked him, do you believe that I can heal you? So the 2 blind men went to Yeshua. Look what I'm saying. And he asked them, do you believe I can heal you? Now, I understand that it could be a physical attribute because when someone's blind, most of the time we know it. But it doesn't say, was Yeshua, did he have his back turned? It's just like he said, I saw him sitting in the tree, right? But he already knew what they were there for. So think about the power that they had. Yes, sir, they answered. Then Yeshua, what? Touched their eyes and said, let it happen. What did he say? Let it happen. Just as you what? Believed. They believed that what? They were going to be what? Healed. That the sight, the light was going to be lit in them so they can have an illumination and what? Be able to see in the darkness. See, that's the level of faith. See, we understand this, and we're going to jump in real quick in the next chapter. They knew, that they had the power. They had the true faith. They knew that what? They could be healed. It's just like when you're in pain, and I know some people say, I don't believe I can heal myself. Well, we have to start dealing with that. The manuscripts have showed us something else. I don't believe that I can heal others. Why? Because there's a cloud of darkness that is blocking your belief. You're thinking about yet something you can't what? Something you can't see. The light needs to illuminate and has to what? Be a reflection so you can understand this. Have you healed others? Have they healed you? Did you have faith that they could do it before they did it? Right? So sometimes the faith, I'm not faith in the man, but the faith that Yah is using this person to what? Heal and help me, right? So these men here were told according to what? Your faith. You see it. It's right here. It says Matthew chapter 9, right? It says according to your faith, not my faith, not his faith, according to your faith. Yeah, I mean, we seen Pop heal people on the spot, and then they come back later on, a week later or a month later, with what? That ailment again. Because it was the faith that they had in the vessel who put hands on them and healed them at that time and at that moment, but they never ever said, wow, this was a man of Elohim, and it was the faith, it was the power that came by Hashem Yahushua, Yeshua, the power that came through him, and now Yah continued to show me how to do that. Show me. This is thing, man. Listen, if what we didn't see is the spiritual lightness that was illuminating in them. So for whatever reason, the writer, right, when he was writing this, see, you gotta understand, if they didn't have faith, they would have never followed Yeshua in the first place. They had an illumination. They had a light in them. They weren't full of darkness. Yet they were blind, but still what? Living their life every day. Remember, according to the scriptures, it doesn't tell us, but as we know, Yeshua went for the lost sheep for the house of Israel. They were Israelites, so they understood, they knew, they saw miracles. There were people who were what? Performing and doing things, but they knew their faith lined up. Then that's why he said, according to your faith. Your faith. What faith do you have? Do you have faith in light or the faith in darkness? Do you have faith in the heaven or do you have faith in what? The earth. You should have faith in the heaven and bring it down to earth, because yet you are the earth. So you have faith within your own self. Because Yah is what? Within you. Prophet Jason, let's go to John chapter 9 real quick. I want y'all to remember that. He said the faith in you. Right? John 9:35. When Yeshua heard what happened, check this out. Is it 9:35? Yeah, 9:35. He found him. Do you believe the Son of Man? Hold on. Okay, sorry. I want to make sure it's the right chapter. When Yeshua heard what happened, he found the man and asked him, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" It's the first question. Do you believe? How many times you ask your children or ask the people you really love, "Do you believe me?" This is why half of the time we can't get to where we get, and we're stuck in these demonic or in darkness of battles, because for some reason people just don't have faith in you. Do you believe me? This is where we should be moving as we're moving in Omar, as we're moving into year 57, 80, what are we, 80, 84, 85, as we're moving forward into the new year. If you don't have faith in me, then we have nothing to talk about. If you don't have faith in my plan or my direction, we got nothing to say. Yeshua said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" The man answered, "Tell me who he is, sir, so I can believe in him." So he must have knew that whatever Yeshua was teaching, he said, "I'm believing 5787. All right, Toda, Fatima, 5787. I'm 2 years behind, right? Even though we could be any years. But he said, I had faith right here, right? This was true faith. When studying, right? Let me keep reading. It says, Yeshua said to him, right? "You have already seen him, and he is the one who is talking with you." Immediately he said, "I believe. I believe, Lord," the man said, and knelt down before Yeshua. Yeshua said, "I came to this world to judge so that the blind should see. I came to this world and walking Torah so I will be the light for your insides to see what? All of the great manifestations of what? Excellence around me. I came as walking Torah. I came as what? The illumination of the menorah, the light, the ruach, the spirit, the all-consuming fire. I came through what? The bush. Now, and I know it's some people that may want to argue that, but I don't want to deal with that right now. I came through the spirit of Yah, through the bush, through Moshe, that was what? Ever burning. Now, some say it was Yah himself. But he's telling you that this is where, and this is how I came to show you these things. And this is what he's saying. So what? The blind should see. I don't want you to be in darkness no more. He says, I want you to see. I want you to take the candlestick around you, right? So when we look and study this, right, it shows that the man was blind from birth. See, when we get back into this, right, and we start looking, it says the man, he was blind from the birth. So now, okay, now we're talking about a physical deficiency, a misalignment, right? It was a reason why it says that hold on for a second. Okay, wait. Oh, you know what? Are we gonna deal with this? Because wait, I can believe in him. I'm sorry, Slaki, y'all, because I got to make sure, because some Pharisees were there answering surely to you to mean that we are blind too. If you were blind, you would not be guilty. You know what? I have to go back and look. I'm gonna come back and put it in there, because we're talking about the light. Maybe it was in one of the other chapters that I saw, but it was showing that he was blind exactly from what? From the birth. There was a reason that the writer didn't say that the people in Matthew that I read earlier were what? Blind from birth. Why didn't the writer in Matthew tell us that they were blind from the birth? Were those people physically blind? Were those two men physically blind, or were they spiritually blind? Which were they? See, this is where I miss Zoom, because I missed the communication. This is where I missed in being in person, right? So could it be the author, the translation, or is it something else that the king wanted us to see? So when someone is born, the body unites with the spirit. So when you're born, right, the body and spirit forms, right? So when your mortal being, your mortal mind merges with your spiritual, and your spiritual is your spiritual consciousness that can't be seen, right? So this is why the human spirit chases either light or darkness. It's chasing and looking for something to what? Something to help it grow, right? So when we look at this, we're saying the author says, yo, let me keep reading instead of paraphrasing. I believe the Lord, the man said. Yeshua said, I came into the world to judge, so the blind should see, and those who should see become blind. Some Pharisees who were with him heard him and said, check this out, and asked him, surely you don't mean that we are blind too? Surely you don't mean that we're blind too? If you live in sin, you can't see what? Sin around you. If you're in sin and you don't have the flame to illuminate, to show you, 1 John 3 and 4, and show you what sin is, the commandments, the 10 words, you don't see sin. Yeshua answered, if you were blind, then you would not be guilty. But since you claim you can see, since you claim you know it all, since you claim that what? You're walking and living in perfection and it's always those and everybody else around you, not you, this means that what? You were still guilty. Your conscious man, right? So why do you think they would ask, hey, did this man sin? It was something. Was he born blind? Did he sin? Did he sin before he was created? Is this a generational curse? Did his parents do something? Right? Hold on for a second. Hold on. I'm almost out your way. Please give me 5 minutes, right? Or is it something deeper? John 3 and 3. I think this is Yeshua answered, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the emet. No one can see the kingdom. No one can see. If we're living in darkness, we can't see that the kingdom exists. No one can see the kingdom of Elohim without what? Being what? Born again, right? So if you were born blind, right? Born into darkness, how do we what? Be able to see or be able to grab the light to what? Allow us to what? See, we're realigning back to where we came from. It allows us to understand what? Spiritual insights. It allows us to understand. This is just telling us, this is something that it was really important here. They were, it was important that he said a group of Pharisees came. Well, who were the Pharisees, right? So the Pharisees, they were men that believed that only the Pharisees, check this out, y'all, just like today. It's some assemblies, it's some camps, it's some churches, it's some doctrine that believe that what? They were the only one that had the connection to the Most High. The Pharisees believed that they had the connections from the Most High through birth. The Pharisees believed that no matter what miracle was done, right, if they didn't know or Yah didn't tell them, it was done through darkness. That's why they questioned Yeshua, what? Yahushua, every time Christ, Mashiach, did a miracle. Right? Because they're like, well, we didn't know. We didn't see. No one came and told us. This miracle was done by darkness. Right? So even when we look at this, right? When we look and we start looking at the Pharisees and things were going on, Nicodemus also, where was it? Nicodemus, he was one who was showed that darkness is hidden in the light. It was they were victims of religiosity, or the religious system, right? So they knew that religion was a form of light, but it couldn't transform because the darkness smothered it out of them. Physically blind, yes, yes. The darkness was what? Smothering the light. Is the darkness smothering your candlestick, your light? Is your light keep on dimming? Is it flickering? We're back to Exodus. Are you what? Bringing fresh what? Fresh oil? Or are we still trying to burn on the same? See, it's like I gave the race car analogy earlier. I gave you the car analogy. You got cylinders, you got oil, and it's sludging up. You're like, you know what? I haven't changed my oil in 15 years, and it seems like it's okay. Well, eventually that oil is going to what? It's going to break down your engine. And you know what? You may be running, but you're not running on what? Your cylinders aren't moving as they should. You're not running at the level that Yah wants you to be up here because you're sitting down running in sludge. So we understand that when John 3:10, Yeshua answered, you are a great teacher in Israel, and you don't know this? He's talking to Nicodemus, right? He said, you are a great teacher. He was a Pharisee of Pharisees, and he's saying, you don't get this, right? He said, it's all these teachers that's out here that have what? A form of knowledge, right? A form of wisdom, but they don't have the revelation. This is why they're easily misled. It is the light that illuminates. We have to be full of the light that not illuminates. It exposes the things that's in us and exposes the things around us. We always want to take the candlelight to everybody else, but are you taking the candlelight back to yourself first? Are you illuminating? Are you judging your own self and your own sins? And you say, well, look what they did over there. Well, look what you're doing. He said to Nicodemus, he said, listen, you're a great teacher in Israel, and you don't know this? I'm telling you the truth. We speak of what we know and report what we have seen. Ask Yah to show you the things that you can't see. But be ready for it. Ask Yah to show you the things that are what? Deep down inside, that little crack inside of you that's full of dust and mold that's just growing. Right? So he says, you do not accept our message. Right? Oh, excuse me. Slaki. He said, we have speak of what we know and report what we have seen, yet none of you is willing to accept our message. You do not believe me when I tell you about things of this world. This is deep. How will you ever believe me when I tell you about things of the what? Of the heaven, right? They love these people what? They loved what? Darkness. They loved the things of the world. The Most High was trying to tell them, right? But people love darkness over light. So if you don't see the light, and the light is the law, and if you don't have the law, see, this is why when they say the law is done away with within church, they don't have the law, so they can't see what? The true sin in the world. Oh man, he loves this. The sin in the sinner. No. We must learn to love what Yah loves and hate what he hates. It tells us in the scripture what he hates. He hates witches. He hates warlocks. He hates darkness. He hates false prophets. They're all demons. It doesn't, no matter what name we give it, we want to come with all these fancy names. They're demons. Period, point blank, end of discussion. We want to be like, oh yeah, that's a soothsayer. That's a demon. That's what he hates, right? So we got to be careful. He's saying, stop looking at what? Your what? Excuse me. Stop looking in the subconscious mindset, right? They thought from subconscious, right? Mark chapter 8, 11 and 12. Go back and read it. But they could not teach from the spirit. It's a difference. This is bigger than this, right? We must feed our spiritual man. Your spiritual woman, you spiritual man, that means human. So it will grow in birth. Once it grows in birth, you'll be able to see and illuminate and see all the darkness that is trying to infiltrate you, as well as the things that are around you, as well as your children, as well as your place at work, as well as just getting it in the car and the television and all of this stuff that's here to to what? Perform what? Recalibration of your mind. People say the matrix. Step out of the matrix. They got some of it right. A little bit. We get so caught up in it. Yes, we need to understand, Brother Best, we got to understand what's going on in the world, because we got to be prepared, because like, oh, whoa, what happened? Who is this? What is this representing? But we got to feed ourselves even when you're full. Prophet Jason just got done telling us this. Matthew 5, I'm done. Matthew 5 and 6, y'all. Excuse me. What throat is dry. Matthew 5, Yahoo 5, verse 6. And it goes in and says, happy are those whose greatest desire is to do what Yah requires. Huh? Happy are those who what? Do. The greatest desire is what Yah requires. He says he will satisfy them fully. He will satisfy you fully. How hungry are you? What kind of foods are you eating, or what are you putting within you? What food are you putting in your belly? What food are you putting in your temple? Right? What kind of food do you want? The food that can make you desire what? Darkness? I'm done here. Or food that can make you desire the light? Our spirit man doesn't want the same food that our flesh man wants. Why is there a battle between flesh and spirit? Huh? Proverbs 4:17. Matter of fact, 16. We'll go here. Wicked people cannot sleep unless they've done something wrong. Man, we can do a lesson here all day. Wicked people will not sleep unless they do something wrong. But come out of Babylon, come out of Mitzrayim. Don't let their affliction or their attack or their fiery darts affect you, because they're doing what they were designed to do. They were created, and unfortunately, they did not have the ear, they did not have the eye, they did not have the spirit of the Most High. They were designed to cause chaos and havoc and what? Bring hell to your life. Period. Am I lying here? I guess I'm lying. Y'all quiet. Y'all bedside Baptists right now. Wake up. It says wicked people cannot sleep unless they've done something wrong. They lie awake unless they have hurt someone. Wickedness and violence are like food and drink to them. We're back to what is inside of them, what is inside of you. What causes one to rise to what? The sun rise, or rise to what? The sun fall. Toda, thank you, sis. Thank you. Isaiah 58:10. If you put an end to oppression, sometimes we oppress our own selves. If you put an end to every gesture of contempt and every evil word, the portal, because the evil word that comes into your mouth is what? What is exit? What exit out your mouth? If you give food to the hungry and satisfy those who are in need, then the darkness around you will turn to the brightness of noon. Your light will rise in the darkness. Allow your own light to continue to rise. The sun rises, even though we understand, and I don't want to argue about the flat earth or round earth. Whether we argue it or not, the sun is always still there. The sun's still there. Yes, that is their whole agenda. We have to get the light of the food, the manna food, the spirit food, the manna that falls from heaven, right? So it will what? Yes. What comes out of the mouth comes from the heart of man. It will show in what? All of the hidden things that are around you, even those things that you cannot see. Y'all got it? Y'all got it? I know it's similar. I mean, a couple years back, I might have told us something a little close, but it's understanding the difference between the light and the darkness. But it starts within you and within me. It starts with what? Consecration. Consecration, prayer, and understanding, right? What we must do to what? Be set free. So get free from the dark. Get free from the dark people. Get free from the dark thoughts and the dark ways. So this is the Elder. It's good seeing y'all. And if you can, you know, share this. If not, teach it. Take the lesson and keep spreading the word. Never been me. It ain't my word. No, it's the word of the Most High. Write it down and reteach it and send it on. Because what the world needs to hear it. Right? And your world needs to hear it. Because your earth is searching for it. All praise to the Most High. It's good seeing y'all. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Mahaba.